If you are struggling to create profitable TikTok ad campaigns, one of the best things you can do is study existing campaigns from your competitors that are getting results. And one of the best ways to do so is to use what's called a spy tool, so that you can find recent high-performing ad campaigns. And in this video we will take a look at one of these spy tools, which is called Anstrex InStream Ads, or also known as Anstrex TikTok Ads. So stick around, because in the next few minutes I'm going to show you successful TikTok ads, TikTok products, and also TikTok shops if you want to sell products directly on TikTok. So in this video I will show you the Anstrex InStream Ads Dashboard, how to look and find successful ads as well as landing pages, how to analyze those ads and landing pages, and also some tips and tricks to use this software. To start using the Anstrex InStream Ads tool, you can go to anstrex.com and then click on Sign In at the top right corner. Right now I am on the Anstrex native dashboard, so to change to Anstrex InStream Ads, I just need to open this drop-down menu and then click on Anstrex InStream. So InStream is the tool for TikTok ads. To use the filters at the top, you just need to hover your mouse on one of these and then click on this down arrow, and then it will display a bunch of different options on a drop-down menu. So in this case you have platform, and there's plenty of different platforms you can choose from, which are used to sell a product online, and then you have a couple more as well. There's only one which is slightly different, which is the sort option that will sort the products in ascending or descending order according to one of these options that you will choose, and they will also be different in different tabs. Then you have here the sliders and metrics, and for these sliders you can either just drag this starting point, or you can also drag the ending point to change these numbers, or you can just click on here and then type a number that you have in mind, because you are already experienced and you know more or less how much time you want your competitors to be running ads for, so that they are already scaling, the total number of likes, like rate and popularity, to make sure that an ad is actually performing well. And then as for the search, there will be different options. We have a basic search functionality where you can search by typing your niche, product keywords, advertiser names, URLs, and much more, depending on that tab. And then we also have an advanced search option. And what this will allow you to do is to go even further and use something which is called Boolean logic to find super specific ads using and or logic. So if you want a specific ad to meet one or more conditions in order for you to actually use them as inspiration, then you can select those conditions and you can actually create a very thorough list of parameters. What's even more useful is that after you enter all of those parameters, you can save your search and give it a name. For example, if you consider winning ads to have at least 100 likes, a certain amount of views, or anything else, then you can type those values and then you can type a number right here and save your search. And so in the future, when new ads are added to Anstrex database, which is constantly getting updated, then you can revisit this specific search without having to constantly enter the filters. Now you can see we are on the main dashboard for Anstrex InStream Ads. If at any moment you are struggling to use the tool, or you don't know the meaning of a specific metric or filter, then you can go here into the top right corner and click on the percentage circle. And this is where you can see a bunch of different video tutorials about how to use Anstrex. So you have here the user interface, drop-down filter, and sorting method, creative and campaign insights, basic search, advanced search, and more. And then you can watch this at your own time to understand fully how to use this software to your own advantage and for research. So you just click on the start button and the video will pop up. And sometimes you also have additional resources. Now, another resource you can use is by going again to the right corner at the top and then clicking on this user profile image, and then you can see here a couple of options. Here at the top again you have the option to change between different tools that are included on your Anstrex subscription. But then you also have something which is called the knowledge base, and this is another resource, but instead of videos it focuses more on combining everything in one place, so you can find both videos and written tutorials. And then here you have get started section, you have basic stuff, improve your skills and become a master. Down here you have then some suggested articles to check out. These are basically tutorials including both video and written articles that you can follow up. Or if you have something in mind that you want to check out, you can go into the search bar right here and select your product here and enter your question or search term. In this tool, there are 5 main tabs that you will be using when doing TikTok ads competitive research. That's top creatives, to view data by browsing through creatives or ads. So if you want ideas for your TikTok video ads, then you would use this tab. And then for top products, you can view all the products that are being advertised on TikTok or using TikTok ads. Then you have top stores, and this tab will show you stores that have products that are being advertised with TikTok ads. Usually these stores have their own website or they are using something like Shopify. There's also TikTok products, which will show you information on products that are sold directly on TikTok using a feature that's called TikTok Shops. And then you also have TikTok Shops, and this will show you the TikTok shops that directly sell on the platform and also have advertisements on TikTok itself. So these last 2 tabs will be very useful if you want to specifically just sell products using TikTok shops. However, you have to bear in mind the disadvantages that come with it, such as limited branding. You can click the link down in the description of this video to try out a free version of Anstrex InStream Ads, and you will notice that once you change to another tab, there are 3 or 4 things that will change slightly based on the tab that you have selected. So first, here at the top you have a couple of filters, and those will change, as well as these sliders right here, which let you narrow down your search using specific metrics. Then the list of creatives or products will also change and have different metrics for that, like engagement, prices, and so on. And the search function will also be different. So when you click on search here, you will have different options for different tabs. In this case, store name, URL, and store product title. And that also applies to the advanced search, which will use filters that are available even without using the advanced search. So you can use some of the filters and metrics that appear on the filters bar at the top or on the metric sliders as well. So you can use the search bar to search by text or with keywords. You can use the filters to apply filters and narrow down your search by TikTok ads targeting options or other options. You can use the ad metrics to filter by specific ad metrics like number of days or engagement. And all of these options together will help you narrow down your search and find the ads, products or stores based on your own criteria that you consider to be a winning ad, product or store. So the tool can help you find the best TikTok ad creatives, top selling products, standalone stores that have their own website, and also successful TikTok shops and what products they are selling. So after you have applied a couple of filters and sorted your results in a way that match your strategy, the country that you want to target and the product, then you can get into the list of creatives. So we don't want to take a look at thousands of ads, but just 100 or a bunch of them, because we would be spending time on ad creatives that wouldn't actually be useful to us and would end up wasting a lot of time. So after that you can check the results on this list right here, and as you push it down you will see new ad creatives loading. Now let's check an example right here. So if you click on this box, which is around the creative, then you can see some examples and start doing more in-depth research. So here you will see a bunch of different details like the advertiser platform, and again this will depend on the tab that you are using. More on that later as we will go through all of the tabs. And then after you take a look at this data, you can copy what you find to be most relevant to a spreadsheet that has all of your data. So for example, if you narrow down the number of creatives to around 20 or 30 creatives that you find will be effective, or a list of products, then you can copy paste the most relevant metrics to that list, and it will make it much easier for you to go through them. And you can even open the panel in a new tab, and once you have that, you can also copy the link of that tab to your spreadsheet. But I would instead recommend that you actually copy paste the TikTok URL and landing page URLs and any other relevant information. This can be quite the complicated process, so to help you out, I'm also going to provide you a product research sheet, which you can download by clicking on the link down in the description. And that will make sure that you have a place where you can copy paste the product links, the ad links themselves. You can also paste in some metrics, and then you can narrow down your product selection according to your budget. So you have to prioritize. If your budget is $500, you cannot test thousands of products, you can just test a couple of them. So then you would pick the best and save the others for a later date if you want to test them out, or get creative ideas for a new ad once you cut out the creatives that are not working. So let's take a look at the top creatives tab. This is where you can find all the ad creatives, which in this case are videos or also known as TikToks. Let's go through some of the filters. So first there is the platform filter, which allows you to filter by the platform the advertiser is using to promote a product or sell a product. There are a lot of different platforms, but if you are working with a specific type of product or service, you might already be familiar with most platforms. For example, in e-commerce, a large number of stores will be using Shopify because it is the easiest way to build an e-commerce store. So if you want to find Shopify stores, then you can go into platform and then you can click on Shopify. And as you can see, there's a significant number of accounts or stores that are using Shopify. We have around 256,567 Shopify stores. Then we have a basic geo filter to show ads that are targeting a specific country or set of countries, like the top 6 English-speaking countries, European countries, or others, depending on your product, where it's being sold, and the audience that you want to target. So if you want to target more than one country, you can select those and keep adding to the list, or you can just select a single one from this list, which includes a lot of different countries. You can also filter ads by language, which can be useful for countries that have a second or third most spoken language, or if you want to target an audience that's living on a specific country, but their main language is another language. For example, if you want to target expats that are looking to build a house or purchase a home in Thailand, you might want to target Thailand, for example, but then use the English language instead of Thai. So if you want to do that, then you can click on language, scroll down and select your language. By default, I have English enabled, but you have here a couple of different languages. Most TikTok users are using mobile devices, more specifically phones, and the two main operating systems are iOS and Android. So you can filter by operating system, either Android or iOS, which are the two main operating systems on phones. So for example, if you are promoting an app and you get paid per installation, if it is an app that's available on Google Play Store, then you don't want to target iOS, and if it's only available on the Apple Store, then obviously you don't want to target Android. So basically you want to check or use filters that align with your ad targeting options. You also have ages, and in this case the ages also correspond to the age targeting options that are available on your TikTok Ads Manager or your dashboard while creating an ad. So you have from 13 up to 55 plus, and you can select multiple of these age ranges or just a single one. Most of the times you will probably be selecting more or a few of these and not just a single age range, unless there's a specific offer that only works for that age range or a product that has a more narrow audience, for example hearing aids or other products. It will also be useful if you want to target people that can actually pay for your products, that have a credit card, for insurance offers, for example, that usually also have a specific age range, for home owners or people that are most likely to own a home, and also other groups of people. The TikTok ad platform, like Facebook, also has interest targeting, which lets you target users based on what they like and the content they see on TikTok. So this interest filter will let you target users that are interested in specific topics or niches, and you will want to use this for sure if you are doing narrow targeting, so if you are just selecting a one very specific interest or a very specific segment of an audience, and then you want to couple the interest with other filters like age, geo, and so on, or even if you are doing broad targeting, or you are selecting a couple of different categories that mix well together. For example, home improvement, household products, and life services. Then there's also a filter for ad types. So we have single ads and spark ads. These are the two main ad formats available on TikTok. Single ads are your typical videos, so you can upload one video for an ad, and the spark ads are a format where you can use a video that already has been uploaded to TikTok by other users, whether that user is you, your own account, or someone else's account, in which case you would need permission to do so. Then you also have some sorting options, so you can show ads with the longest running time, with the highest engagement, most likes, most views, most popular, date first seen, and date last seen, in either ascending or descending order. So using the sorting option is one of the best ways to quickly find the type of ads that you are looking for without using advanced search filters. The highest engagement is a ratio that takes into account most likes, views, and popularity to show you the best ads or the ads that most people engage with and therefore might be more profitable and get shared around even though they are paid ads. And then when you have date first seen, this will show ads according to the first time that they appeared on TikTok, and date last seen will be regarding the last time that the ad was spotted on TikTok. Then here we have a couple of sliders so that you can filter your search by using specific numbers. So here you can type in a minimum amount of days that the creative has been running for. You can either use this slider or enter a specific number of days. For example, if you want ads that have been running for more than 30 days, then you can type in here 30 days. Here you have total likes, where you can use a minimum number of likes and max number of likes to filter posts that have engagement or might have potential to be shared around even though they are ads. You also have a popularity slider and the like rate. Using the days running can be a good way to avoid ads that are not proven or are still being tested and not in the scaling phase, which is what you want to avoid, because ads that are being tested means that those ads might not be profitable at all. The popularity is a measure of the audience interest in an ad, so it combines all interactions with an ad, including likes, shares, bookmarks, and comments for each ad. The like ratio is another signal of engagement that works for all ads, which allows you to compare ads no matter how many views they have. So if you want to gauge how much engagement two different ads have, but they have marginally different views, then you can look at the like ratio, and of course you can also filter results by using this slider. The way that the like rate or ratio is calculated is by dividing the total amount of likes by total views. So it's a much better way to compare different ads because they all have different views and total likes. When it comes to using a minimum like rate, that will be up to you and your niche, and you might get used to using a specific value once you start running ad campaigns as you look to your own results. Now let's look at the basic search here. You can search by the creative text, translated text, advertiser name, landing page text, landing page URL, landing page domain, and creative URL chains. For the advanced search, here you can load your saved search, or you can pick multiple metrics here, one by one, and then use an AND or logic. For example, if you want an ad to have more than 100 likes, you can put here 100 likes, or if you want the ad to have a like rate that's more than a certain value, then you can go here, select like rate, and that way you will have a better way to find ads that might be performing well, no matter the amount of views. And then you can use an OR instead of an AND, so that you will display both of those ads. And then if you want ads that follow multiple criterias and they must follow both for it to appear on your search, then you can use the AND logic. For example, you want the platform to be Shopify, then you would select platform here and then click on Shopify. And then if you want the CTA button to be equal to Shop Now, that means that the ad creatives that will show up will be ad creatives that lead to a Shopify store and use the CTA button. And then you can create multiple groups and it will always follow that same logic. And you can also sort the results using the different filters that were on the filter bar that we just covered. So most of the metrics and parameters that you will use here will also be present on the previous either filters, metrics, or other data that I've just mentioned. Now looking at the list of ads, you can see here some engagement metrics. You can take a look at the total views. You can add the ad to your favorites. You can see the device targeting, geo or country, and also the platform. And as you can see, for certain ads, you will have more data than others, depending on different factors. So let's first just go here and sort by highest engagement. On the results, you can also take a look at the actual creative. You can also play it by clicking here, and then you can see the ad, and you can also take a look at the copy. So now let's take a look at what you can see once you click on an ad. You must click on the box that's surrounding the ad and not the ad creative itself. Now here you have a synopsis, and then there is the site and landing page information. So right here you can see you have the ad creative with some of the metrics. So you have here the likes, number of comments, shares, total downloads, total collected. So these are people that actually saved the video. And you also have the total number of views, which is not very high in this case. And then we have some ad info. So you have the advertiser. But besides that, you don't just have the name, you also have the link, which is very useful because, as you know, these tools only do so much. Then you might want to look and actually visit the brand TikTok profile, and for that you can click on here or copy the links and put it on your research sheet. You can also see the platform. In this case it is unknown, so it is probably their own website since this is Adidas. Then we have age targeting, which in this case is 55 plus. Then we have the ad type, the OS targeting, which is Android, the ad creation date, so when was the ad created, and of course this date will also be used and taken into consideration when you are using the filters for the date or the slider. Then you have the TikTok URL, which is very important. You should also save this or open it up. And you have the landing page URL, which is where you will find the product. And you can also save this URL as well. Then you also have more details for the button color, so this is the CTA button, and you can actually copy that same color. There's also the button display duration, so for how long will they see the button, and the show button color seconds and also the CTA button text itself, which you can also copy. And then there is a preview of the button animation or the CTA button animation right here. Now regarding the ad, you can click on these three dots and then you can download the ad creative, but you gotta be careful if you are reusing an existing ad to avoid copyright infringement. Sometimes downloading an ad and clipping it together with other clips from different videos might work, but you got to understand the TikTok ads policy. But another reason for downloading the videos might be because you want to save them for future reference while creating your own creative, or another valid reason is that you want to download the ad creative because you want to send it to an agency to create ads for you. This here would show an image of the landing page, which doesn't always work. And in this case, you can see that's from adidas.com, so the Adidas website. Now let's take a look at the analytics. In the analytics, you can see different data that shows in graphs, and you have two viewing options. You have overlay, which will show different metrics compared to each other on the same chart, or you can see individual, which will show each metric on their own chart. So again, if you want to compare different metrics, you will use overlay, and then you have here the first one, which is daily creative activity, and this will show you the relation between total likes, total comments, total shares, and total impressions, and then you can go and navigate with your mouse to see the total likes and the impressions at different points of the graph. And as you can see, this graph only has one date, so the data will be limited in this case. There's also the daily campaign activity, and this will show you the total amount of ads compared with the total impressions. So here, as you can see, there was a total of one ad and 0 impressions. Then again, the same ad was still running, or perhaps a new ad, and then we have an increase in impressions to 15,327. So this is normal because the ad was launched and then the impressions started increasing. Then here there's another ad, which might be a new one, and you have an increase in impressions. Then you have a decrease in impressions to 2, despite being 2 ads running. Then they increase to 4 ads and there is 16 impressions, and then here one ad and there is 200 impressions that increase to 704, 910 total impressions. So these were the impressions that were increasing from that same ad. Now here, if you click on other ads, you can see all other ads that the same page or advertiser is running. You can browse through those, and then you can also take a look at the overview metrics here, as well as the CTA button and all of the other data. You can actually see what offers they are using and how they use that on the copy. But of course, the copy can be bigger, so it will only show you a snippet. And you also have a couple of filters here, including sorting and also the OS types. Here we can take a look at the landing pages and also visit them or copy the URL, which is very useful if you find a very good landing page from that same advertiser or you find a better variant. I'm not going to show you the landing page. There's also another very cool feature here, which is that you can select multiple landing pages and then you can click on the zip download icon right here, and what that will do is download the images for those landing pages as well as create a CSV file or a Microsoft Excel sheet with all of the links to the landing pages. You can also take a look at the geo or location being targeted, which for this ad was 100% United States, and you can also see more details for the age targets. So in this case, as you can see, there was 55 plus and all, so broad age targeting, and as you can see, there was 0% traffic for 55 plus and 100% traffic for all or untargeted. What that means is that you would probably not see that on the overview. So the overview actually showed 55 plus, but what ended happening was that all the traffic came from an untargeted age. Now, if you would rather save the link to this panel right here or share it with someone else, then you can click on open the panel in new tab, and this will actually maximize this panel that has all of the ad info. So now we are on the top stores tab, and this is a page that shows all the stores that are advertising using in-stream video ads on TikTok. First, let's go over some of the filters. So the first one is platform, but in this case there's only two options, which are Shopify and WooCommerce. Assuming that these are the two main options, it means that most stores are using Shopify. Then you have categories. This is where you can browse to a couple of different categories and subcategories, so you can go actually quite specific to find niche stores that are selling a specific type of product. So you have appliances, then from appliances you can go to kitchen appliances, then you can go to juicers or blenders. For example, for consumer electronics, you can go to camera and photo, and then you have photo studio and tripods. And as you can see, you can go very broad or very specific. Again, you have the geo filter to choose the countries that you are targeting or where you sell your products. You also have here a useful filter, which is supplier match. And this will be useful if you want to find stores that are selling a product from a specific supplier. So we have one for stores with AliExpress products only, for Banggood, and also DHgate. Of course, you might want to use other suppliers that are, for example, inside the US or that have warehouses there, because that way you can reduce the cost when it comes to shipping and it will be faster. However, it is still a good option for research purposes, since a lot of stores might still use this as their own suppliers. Having a great supplier that's not from China can actually be a great competitive advantage. So that way you can see whether your competitors are using a general supplier from China or not. And there's also other ways to do that, but I'm just covering what you have here in the tool. Then we have another sorting option, which has a couple of different ways to sort the stores. So we have the stores that received most traffic in 30 days, you have the longest running, most traffic overall, most ad likes, most ad views, highest product count, date first seen, both in ascending and descending order, and then you also have date last seen in ascending and descending order. The date first seen sorting option will show you the stores by its launch date, and that means it is the date on which the first product was introduced on that store. And for date last seen, this will show you the products by the date on which the last product was introduced, and you have both ascending and descending options. So you can start with an earlier date or a later date, depending on what you are looking for. Now let's cover some of these metrics and sliders. So we have days running, which allows you to narrow down your search by choosing a minimum and maximum value of days that a store has been in business for. For the likes, you can choose the minimum and maximum number of likes that were generated on all the ads for that store. Then for views and impressions, you can also choose a minimum and maximum number of views or ad impressions that were generated on the ads from the stores. As you can see, some of this data actually comes from ads, and then it's cross-referenced and analyzed to put it together and make sense out of it in the context of a store. We also have global rank, and this is based on the rank of the store, which is determined by the amount of traffic it receives from different paid and organic traffic sources. Then for the number of products, you can choose the minimum and maximum number of products that are being sold by that store. Okay, so now let's take a look at the search. In the basic search, we have three main options. We can search by the store name or the URL, and also the store product title. Then again, we also have the advanced search with all of those previous filters I've talked about right here. So you can use that as well to create an advanced search, save it, and then revisit every time you need to do so. Now let's talk about the list of stores. So we have here plenty of stores. Some of them have a logo, others don't. and we have some overview of the metrics and data. So just like I said, we have the logo image, we then have the date added and the date last seen, we have the store title and domain name, we have the total likes, and we also have the total views. Then we have the products count, so how many products the store has or is currently selling. We have the global rank, and then here we have the value that is related to the global rank, but more on that later. So let's pick a store and take a look at the data. So let's take a look at this one right here. So here again you can see the store logo, and you can also zoom in or save that image if you want some inspiration. What you could actually do is save a couple of samples of other stores' logos, send it to a freelancer and ask it to create a new improved logo for your own store. You then have the number of products, first seen, last seen, and you have a button here that you can click on to visit the store. And you also have here the global rank, which as you can see has an infinite symbol. As I've mentioned previously, the first seen is the date that the first product was added to the store. The last seen is the date the last product was last seen in the store. And as for the global rank, that is currently showing an infinite symbol. This means that the store is too small to be ranked, or the rank data is not available for that particular store. So now we have a couple of other sections that we can click to see the visitors right here. And this will show you a chart of the number of visitors over time, so that you can see how many people are actually visiting the store in specific dates, and you can see the overall trend. Are the number of visitors increasing, decreasing, or kind of stable over time? That also depends on how much traffic this store is getting, including the ads. So if the ads have influence in the number of visits, that means that it is also useful to take a look at the in-stream ads for that store, which we can do in this section. And here you have an ad, and you can see that this is for the Pakistan GEO, and you have all of the details regarding that ad, which you can click on again for more data on it. We can also visit the products section, and this will show you the number of products added over time, and you can then scroll down to see all of the product selection available for that store. Each product has some extra information here, so you have the product images, you have the retail store name, there's also the store URL, the retail price, and you have a couple of buttons here. So the first one will let you view the product on the store. Then you have search on Google. This is very useful because it will use reverse image search to find the website that's selling that product. So sometimes there can be multiple websites selling that specific product, and you can also click find on to find the product on AliExpress, Banggood or DHgate if the product is available there, which is also very useful. Now we are going to check the TikTok products tab, and this will show products that are sold on a TikTok shop. The TikTok shop is a feature that allows users to purchase products directly on TikTok without leaving the app or opening a store or external website. So if you are thinking about using TikTok shop and you want to make sure you have the best chance of selling those products, or you are just selling on TikTok shop and not using an external store, then this section will be very useful. First, we can take a look at the filters, which are not that many for this case. So here at the top bar, we only have the GEO. So you have a couple of options here, not as much as on the top products, which include all of the products. So in this case, you only have a smaller selection of countries, and then you have some sorting options, which include highest engagement, most likes, most views, most ads, most popular, and most sales. Then we have some sliders, which include the views and impressions, the duration, likes, product rating, like rate, sold count, so how many products were sold, and the number of ads. And as you can see, the duration is for the data added and the date last seen. So when it comes to basic search, you can search by the product title or product description, and then again you also have the advanced search, which includes some filters and metrics that were available on the sliders as well. Now as for the product list, you can take a look at the products as well as their image, the dates. You can also see the description or a small description, because if the description is too big it won't fit in here. Then you have the interactions like the total likes, total shares and the number of views. You also have the price. This includes the price in dollar and also the original currency from that specific country where the product is being sold, so the GEO. And you also have the number of products sold. So let's just sort this by the highest engagement, and now let's narrow it down to the US. And let's open this twisted loop drying towel. Here you can see some information on synopsis. So under the site and product information, you have the product link, which you should save. You also have the price, the original price, the date of creation, and the store. So this includes both the store name and the TikTok shop link. And here in shipping, you have the standard shipping option and how much that costs. So if there are multiple shipping options, they will also appear here as well, including all of those prices. You can also click on this button below the image to view the full resolution image, and you can also save it if you want to use it as a reference for your own product. There's also a 5-star rating system. This will be very useful because it is a strong indicator of the product quality or issues, especially when you compare this rating with the views and the amount of products sold. Now let's jump into the description. This is where you can see the full description, which sometimes also includes product images. So this includes stuff that you might want to use in your copy or just details regarding the product. Then you have all of the product images. If you want to download all of these images, you can click on Import Images to Zip, and this will download a zip file with all of these images, or you can just right-click on each image and click Open Image or Save Image As on your browser to save those images. Now, the Variants tab will show all the product variants, so this means that if the product has bundles, different colors, sizes, or a different design, then you can see how many options that customer has to add that product to the cart. Then you can click on Ads to view all ads for that TikTok shop product. And then for the sale history, you can see a daily product activity chart, and this will show you the sold count compared to the number of views over time, so that you can see if the units being sold are keeping up with the number of views, if the views are increasing but the sold count is decreasing. In this case, it is going well because, as you can see, the sold count is increasing over time, even though the views are stable here given this date frame. Now we are on the TikTok Shops tab, and this is where you can see all of the TikTok shops available on TikTok, which is a native integration on TikTok, so sellers can actually sell their products directly inside the app. First, let's take a look at the filter. So we just have the GEO filter with some countries here of your choice, and then we have some sorting options. So we have longest running, most ad likes, most ad views, highest product count, date first seen and date last seen, which works similarly to the previous tabs. Then we also have some sliders for the number of views, days running, likes, shop rating, like rate, and sold count. Then if we take a look at the search, we can search by store names. So if you have some competitors that you've researched previously, then you can enter their name here or their store name and take a look at their products, ads, and so on. Especially if those stores are very successful stores that are making a lot of revenue and converting on a lot of different products that you also found success with while basing your products and ads out of that store. Then we also have the advanced search, which again works with all previous filters and sliders. Now if we take a look at the list of stores, we have a couple of different information. First, let's sort this by most ad likes. Now you can see on the store overview you have a couple of data like the date added, date last seen, the name of the shop, the total likes, total views, the number of products sold, the GEO, and the rating system. So let's take a look at one of those stores, starting with this one, and here you can see the store logo, the number of products again, the first seen date, last seen, and then we can take a look at some of the other sections. So if we go into InStream Ads, we can see all the ads for that TikTok shop. Then, if we go to product, we can take a look at all of the products that are available for purchase on that TikTok shop. And in the sell history, we can take a look at a chart for daily shop activity, which compares the number of products sold or sold count with the number of views. And you can see that for a while, sold count was stable and then it started increasing. And here, when it started increasing, the number of views also went a bit down, but not a lot. So they might actually have been doing some optimization and were able to get better results when it comes to reaching a target audience that's interested in buying those products. And then we can also open the panel in a new tab to see all information on just one screen. And then we can of course share that link just like previously. And so that's about it for this section. If you want to try the software for yourself, you can check the link down in the description for a free trial with some limited access that will allow you to see what the tool actually looks like. You can also download my product research sheet, which will help you organize your best ads and also help you with product research to see whether a product might be profitable or not on the TikTok platform. Now, before you go, let me know in the comment section down below what's the #1 feature that you would like to see on a TikTok ads spy tool. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more software videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.